Plaza, Atlantic City. Tyson versus Spinks, once and for all, June 27th. Order now from your pay-per-view system.
This is the greatest live gate in the history of professional sports, $12.3 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, once and for all, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
Let's go, let's go! Let's go, let's get off the apron!
After the Spinks fight, Don King had Mike sign a promotional contract. And when Mike showed this contract to Robin, and Robin was quickly told by her lawyers that Don would be in position as Mike's promoter to take all the money before she could put her hands on it, she ostracized Don from Mike's life. She renegotiated with Bill Caton to keep Bill on as manager because she knew that every dollar that came in that Mike deserved, he would get, and she would have access to it.
At 4:30 one morning, Tyson ended up in a street brawl with one of his old fight victims, Mitch Green. Tyson ended up with a hand in plaster, and Green looked far worse. Then Tyson drove his car into a tree. One lurid account called it a suicide attempt.
If he wanted to commit suicide, I think he'd find some way to jump off a building or a bridge or something, but driving into a tree at 30 miles an hour is not his way of committing suicide. But of course the press went crazy with it. They loved it. It was notoriety. What happened to 5 years that Mike was on the covers of magazines, doing commercials for American sponsors that are the most conservative companies in the world when it comes to commercial endorsements? They don't want someone who's crazy. They don't want someone who's wild. They want a hero like Joe Louis would, like Rocky Marciano would, like Jack Dempsey would. And they chose Mike until he got hooked up with Robin, because then he was not a hero anymore. Then he was a very unhappy young guy.
She and her mother convinced him he was manic depressive. They hired a psychiatrist who never really met with Mike, but listened to Ruth and Robin's description of Mike's behavior, and recommended that Mike be put on lithium. Lithium is a dangerous, mind-altering drug.
No one knew what was happening until the advertisement went on. Mike Tyson, Barbara Walters, Robin Givens, tonight, ABC.
Michael is a manic depressive. He is. I mean, that's just a fact.
And when I saw Mike on the show, he looked like as if he was lost. And I used to tell everyone, in order to know Mike Tyson, you got to understand him. And the people that I knew that knew Mike Tyson understood that wasn't Mike. That was not Mike.
The next day, his friends in the street in Brooklyn, his homeboys, he called them, yo, what's up? And they tell him, Mike, she dissed you, man. You're the heavyweight champ. You're not crazy. He realized he'd been had. She believed he would never forgive her for ridiculing him in front of the entire world. And from that day on, it was history.
I immediately called the heads of 2 of the hospitals that I knew for names of 3 or 4 of the top psychiatrists. Each one named a number. The one name on the list was Abraham Halpern on both lists.
As the battle over Mike Tyson's mental health continues, the latest round goes to the champ, according to the psychiatrist who examined Tyson this week.
Mike Tyson's problem or disturbance does not rise to the level of a serious mental illness called manic depressive illness.
Unfortunately, Don King was still around and brilliantly was able to get to Mike a few days later and started to pitch him. Mike, you and me, we're brothers, Mike. We're brothers. We work well together. You know, you ought to think about you and I. Next week, Mike, you ought to get those contracts from Bill Caton. You ought to get those contracts. You're the boss. You're the champ. Because Don King knew that Mike Tyson was the most valuable commercial property in the world. If he can control Mike, he can get all the money.
I love Mike Tyson. I think that Mike Tyson is a stand-up individual, and I don't think there's no weakness about him ever frustrating himself, self-destructing himself, or capitulating and surrendering to those who are coming in with intimidation and fear. He's a gladiator, he's a fighter, and that's what a fighter is about. But the difference is, he's just not a fighter that gets in the ring and say, ooh, ah, and you know, I'm glad to be here. He's a fighter that can think. He's a fighter in his heart, too.
After only 8 months, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens were divorced, due, it was said, to irreconcilable differences. Robin spoke of her husband's unprovoked rages of violence, but polls in the American press cast Tyson as the victim. Yet again, Tyson had lost someone close. D'Amato, Jacobs, now Robin. He was an angry man.
You're right, yeah. Tyson and King are undeniably unbeatable. They are a winning team because we represent the people.
He fired Kevin under the pushing of Don King. He was hit more punches in Bruno fight than he'd hit in all the fights before that.
In the dressing room. Come on, punch to get out of there. All right, break. Come back. Don't hold him, Frank. Don't hold him. Get your arm back, Frank. Get your arm back. You hold it, Frank. Come on, work. Get break. Come back, Frank.
When I was with Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton, knowing that I was the cream of the crop, I was the golden boy of the world. I made Time Magazine, Life, I made every major issue that top business, corporated business that run our country.
New York or Cleveland or St. Louis or any city in America or throughout the world is bearing witness to the lie that we are an inferior people. You turn on your television, black comedian on. Every third word is that MF this and F that and that so and so this and You don't give a damn no more how low down you are.
I don't want to be like in 1863 when they had the revolution, and I mean,
to the banished slavery. You know, they had slaves fighting, believe it, ironically, fighting to stay in slavery. They didn't want to see a guy with Don King who was controversial and black and not afraid to talk, and I mean, and fight and hit racism in the face and say, you're a racist pig, you're, you know what I mean, a fascist. Being black is bad in this country when you really look at it. From my perspective of where we came from, that's bad.
In the same calculated way, with forethought and surgical skill, that Customado took away all the things that were around Mike from Brooklyn. The hate, the racism, the con jobs, the contempt for everyone, the sly moves, they were put back on by Don King. It was a brilliant move in taking Mike over, but in the process of destroying Mike Tyson. But Don didn't care, because to Don, the only thing that mattered was how many people came to watch him fight, and where's the money? That's it.
I'm a better fighter now than when I was before the issue, when I was relocating and all that. I'm a better fighter now, and people in the business know I'm a better fighter now.
The champion, the challenger, the champion, the challenger.
And Tyson is trying to find out immediately if his head is clear.
This is when Douglas should really do a great deal of clinching, tying his hair, and trying to clear his head.
Hey, don't do that. Left hand lands by Tyson. Right to the body, he tries the uppercut again and misses.
No, Buster. No, Mike. Step back.
This is high drama, and the crowd here is greeting it by and large with stony silence.
Probably disbelief, Jim.
Shades of Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns. Douglas coming back with a left and right. Tyson is wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down. Plenty of time left in the round. And again, the champion wobbles back to the ropes. Solid right hand by Douglas. The most action-filled, heavy punching exchange round of Mike Tyson's career.
And Mike Tyson is hurt, his eye is closing, and he is behind in this fight.
Had Kevin been in Japan, I assure you, Buster Douglas would not have even looked good against Mike. Mike would have destroyed Buster Douglas. Didn't even have an ice bag. I mean, can you imagine cornermen as incompetent as that?
And Tyson, to his credit, has stood in there and taken the punches.
Oh, what a right hand by Tyson to begin the 10th round. Emphasis on man, Larry. This has been an inspired, courageous performance. He's been a whole different person than the one every boxing expert expected to see here. Brawling willingly just to try to get in the shot that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.